Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo, work, white boy.
No, I'm at home actually. The slaves get a day off once a year called Labor Day.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's why everyone. Yeah, nice out today too.
Well, for
I know.
some, not all slaves.
Yeah, because people at Walmart still gotta work and
Yeah,
shit and fast food,
yeah, yeah.
which is fucked up.
It is
But
fucked up. I agree.
yeah, it's funny how on the day called Labor Day, like all these people still have to go to their jobs. Like they can't just be like, "Hey, we're shutting down." Do they even close early on Labor Day? Those stores?
Some, but not all.
Yeah, but like Walmart probably doesn't.
No, of course not. They would lose
Like
money.
that's fuck. Yeah, they would lose money, but even though it's a holiday of labor, I don't know, it's fucking funny. It's a joke. What is the point of Labor Day though?
Well, I let's look this up real quick. Let's look up Labor Day occult origins because all the holidays are occult in nature. All right, so Labor Day is surprisingly radical origins. Labor Day is celebrated each year on the first Monday in September. This holiday was born amid violence and unrest over oppressive working conditions. And by the
That's
late
ironic.
19th century, the Industrial Revolution had made working life miserable for people around the world. In many places, workers toiled for at least 12 hours a day, 6 days a week in mines, factories, railroads, and mills. Children were especially exploited as cheap laborers who were less likely to strike. Sweatshops locked workers in small, crowded spaces and punished them for talking or singing as they worked.
Doesn't sound much different than today, does it? I mean, maybe a little worse, but Jesus fucking Christ.
Well,
How
now
many
we have
workplaces
now we
I
have
couldn't fucking sing and talk?
yeah, now
I
we
used to
have
get always
go
sorry to
on.
cut you.
Go.
I used to always get fucking bitched at these office jobs for talking too much with your workmates, you know.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Well, I was going to say that fuck, what was I going to say? I don't even remember now. Well, we've entered a new phase of the war against the people, the general masses, and that's the silent war. So, like back in the 19th century, right, 1800s, late 1800s, they didn't have things like television and movies, and I mean they had plays and shit, but
Yeah, they had to communicate with each other to entertain themselves.
yes, exactly, they had to
Or
actually.
sing to themselves or whatever. Like
Yeah, yeah. And that would create unity, and then they would be like, well, wait a second. I mean, we get along really well. Why don't we just fucking demand more money?
yeah. Yep, which is like a union or whatever, like their own union.
Yeah. Well, that's
Which is like you said, unity. You don't need a fucking union to
no,
have unity. That's
no.
what's so erotic. It's like, no, you fucks, you don't need to have someone else do your bidding. If you just came together, you all work together, that should be the natural order of things. But you make a good point. Even on a small company level, these psychopathic people naturally know what to do. It's like they're all you naturally know what you're doing is wrong and you're a psychopath, so you naturally try to divide people within your own company. You know, like, oh, you backstab Jenny over here and you get a raise. You know what I'm saying? Instead
Yeah,
of being like, hey, how about we all get a raise? How about we all say fuck you
yeah,
and get more benefits? You know what I mean?
yeah. How about more of the profit gets returned to the worker?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But, they keep everyone divided in the workplace. Then they get more what they want and they keep
Yeah,
people
it's
from
the
uniting.
division. The division exists both horizontally and vertically. Vertically meaning that the division between like management and actual production labor, and then you have the division horizontally between different job classes within the production labor pool.
Right.
You know, and they look at it like a lot of them look at it as well. If this guy gets more money, that means less opportunity for me to get bonuses and raises and shit.
Right, right.
So that's
Exactly.
why when you have people who have been at one place for a long time, they view anybody new who comes in as competition.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when I had the job at Ford as a sales guy, especially sales jobs where there's commission based,
Yeah.
that's like the strongest. You'll get that. So yeah, I wasn't there very long. I only lasted 3 days. It was a terrible job. But as my first day at the sales floor, like literally probably half the other sales guys were looking at me like they wanted to kill me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
it's like
You're taking
I'm
food
there
off their
to
plate.
compete.
You're
Yep,
taking food
I'm
off
there
their
to
plate.
compete
Yeah.
for sales. Yep, exactly. And that's the exact environment that they want, that these dealerships. It's like, yeah, this is what we want. Because we don't want you. The last thing they want is all the car sales guys to unite, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the whole structure of the world seems to be built on division.
oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, divide and conquer. Exactly. And even as kids, we're taught competition, competition, competition. You know, like individual competition. Like you said, we were conditioned. We didn't even have like I guess in gym class, you know, the only time you play games with other people is like, oh, well, you got a group of people in the basketball. But other than that, like in the classroom, how many times was it like most of the time wasn't it like you're alone and you're competing with 30 other kids? It's like battle royale in the classroom. That's what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why they love the battle royale shit, because it's like, yeah, that's what they fucking love, man. 100 people all on their own, or at least in very small groups competing. You know,
Yeah.
it's instead of being like, hey, yeah, you never were taught to. It was always this competition, like from day fucking one as a 5-year-old kid. Everything, you know, it was like teaching you to not unite with people, to not work as a team, to not. Yeah, it was and you know.
Well, that's especially true psychologically. That's the conditioning. When you look at what young people are compelled to learn about while they're in the government schooling, you know, the government indoctrination camp. Because if you look at it objectively, if they were learning like real hard skill, you know, like for real, like real hard skill, they would, you know, they would learn cooperation. That's just, you know, they would learn how to cooperate with one another, because one man can't build most things by himself.
Yeah.
Most things.
No.
Most things require additional assistance, usually from other people in cooperation.
Yeah.
So.
Like you know, to build a car, how many people have to be really good at one skill in order for that car to get built, you know? Like someone's got to be really good at electronics. The other guy's got to be really good at welding.
Yeah.
You know, any complex machine, even a computer, or God, even like I guess a house. I mean, I built my own house myself, but the materials itself, I mean, were made by other people that were specialized in making drywall, cutting wood, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
making the screws.
And honestly, like, you didn't even build that complex of a structure.
I didn't.
The more complex the structure gets, the more specialized the skills become.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You just don't have, even if you're really smart, you don't have time to learn all the skills and perfect them. You just don't.
No.
You know, so you do need other people that spent years perfecting their skill.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Just like in a band, dude, I've been perfecting my guitar playing skills, but am I the best drummer in the world? No. I mean, I'm good enough to make shit, but it'd be nicer to have a guy that spent 2 decades playing drums and perfecting drums in order to come together and make, and same with singing and this and that.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, okay, well, then it comes to now we're recording and mixing the audio. Well, I'm getting good at that, but that's a really intense skill too. That, yeah, if someone spent 10 years perfecting it, they have a lot, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's why this shit, you know.
Well, and that's why I'm really all for us, like, just really upending this whole system and going to basically where we don't teach these children things that they can't tangibly, like, hold in their hand. Like, we're not, you know, like, critical race theory is such ridiculous bullshit, because you're wasting the most formative years of a child's mind.
Yeah, they need
bullshit.
Formative years, they don't need any theories.
No.
Theories can happen when they're older and they understand the world. That's fine.
The way the world works.
When you're a fucking child, you need to learn. And children don't give a fuck about the theories. I mean, remember being a kid? You don't give a fuck.
No.
You just want to play and learn with real shit. Like, you don't want this fucking blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, dude, Johnny, go out there and fucking, you know what I mean? Go out there and play and learn how, whatever, you know, look, oh, Johnny, you like trains? Look, let's go build a train.
Well,
a
it's
train
really,
track, you know?
It's like what the most fundamental thing a child can learn about and like grasp and like cement in their mind is actions and consequences. You know, like that's the biggest thing.
You get from playing, though. You get that from playing.
I agree with that. But then you also get that from learning how to grow food. You get that from learning how to cut wood. You learn that from learning how to weld. Like physical, tangible, 5 sense reality manipulation skills. And not manipulating other people, but manipulating the material of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, even chemistry is something that children should be learning about from a very young age, learning how things interact with each other. You know, it's
basic chemistry. I mean, even just baking is chemistry. You know, I mean, that is chemistry. Cooking is chemistry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're learning. You know, as a kid, you should be learning how to bake and cook and learning how to mix things, and then go from there.
You need those skills because if it's just you, you'll have a chance at succeeding. But if you don't have those basic skills, now you're turning to a big giant corporation that's going to cut the quality of the final product to make a profit on your time and laboring energies as you buy the food from them that they prepared for you.
I was at my neighbor's house the other day. Yeah. The neighbor that, I don't know if I told you, he was in the Marines when he was younger. He got discharged.
Yeah, go on.
So he was in the Marines, you know, and he's always been kind of a Mr. Tough guy, punk kid growing up, like getting into fights and and then he joins the Marines, right, thinking, you know, tough shit, right?
Yeah.
And then last night, I'm like, because he's been not watching the news too much because he doesn't want to see this shit going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, man, did you see what's going on in Australia? He's like, no, what's going on? So I showed him like these videos of the quarantine camps and fucking cops like fucking beating on like those girls and shit because they didn't wear their mask and all the crazy shit happening in Australia. And he looked terrified, bro.
Wow.
I'm like, well, you scared? You know, he genuinely, this Mr. Tough guy had fear in his eyes. He's like, oh my God, like that's really happening. What the fuck? I'm like, yeah, dude. I was like, yeah, dude. And I was like, yeah, we better not let that fucking happen here, right? Like, we got fucking guns. We got to kill these motherfuckers. And he just had this. He didn't have anything to say. He was just terrified. Like, I just hope that doesn't happen here. It's like, well, what are you gonna do about it, Mr. Marine? If it does, pussy out. Like now you're not a fucking tough guy, right?
Wow.
Like here I am, the fucking little bitch who never wanted to get in a fight, and like I try to avoid confrontation, but I'm not gonna fucking. You know what I mean? It's always the people that like him that are like that have to like, oh, I'm in the Marines and I get into like fights. It's like they're like compensating. It's like they're actually scared pussy faggots. You know?
So he's a veteran?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Marine veteran, yeah. So he does have some decent skills. He's handled a gun. He's learned basic combat. You know, it's
but honestly, being in the Marines and shit like that doesn't change if you're a coward. You know, if you're still a fucking coward, you're just a fucking coward. There's just no.
Yeah, exactly. And I think most of those people are cowards. Let's be real. Most of the people that join the government, they're joining it to compensate, and they're cowards. It's easy to think you're a fucking tough guy when you're a cop and you have a whole cop force backing you up. Same with the Marines. Oh, well, you got a whole fucking army backing you. It's easy to act like a tough guy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're so tough when the fucking pigs come at your door and you're the only one there, or you and another dude, like, you know, are you willing to lay down and die? Like, don't sound so tough now too, right, faggot? I was just kind of sickened to how much of a pussy he sounded. Like, he had no, fuck this. That shit ain't happening here in my fucking town. Like, it was just like, oh, hope that doesn't happen.
No masculine energy. None. No masculine energy. Just, like, limp-wristed.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, I was just like, yeah, dude, we're going to have to fucking kill these motherfuckers. If this shit's happened, we're going to start creating some fucking bombs. We're going to have to do something, dude. You know? Just like the fucking towelheads that you fucking people tried to fight. Those masculine warriors who were fucking bombing your ass and fucking sniping you out.
Way braver.
And you know what I mean? You guys couldn't even take those fuckers out.
We couldn't, but you know what, though? All the soldiers on the ground, they were the useful idiots because they didn't understand that at the very top there was this plan all along to return Afghanistan after it was completely broken and turn it over to the Taliban.
Exactly.
To be
that was
ruled.
The whole point all along, dumbasses. They funded the Taliban.
Yeah.
They
100%.
weren't even there really fighting the Taliban. It was just kind of like, I guess they did fight them, but it was just there.
They were destroying the tribal structure that was
Yeah,
resisting the Taliban, right?
exactly.
By like it's like kind of like milk when you homogenize it. Like it no longer has layers. There's no longer layers to the milk. It's just all one fucking soup, and it's easy to it's easy to run through it basically.
Right.
Like there's no resistance. So they just
Big.
homogenize the non-Taliban sections of that the humans in Afghanistan. They homogenize them. They got them used to the decadence of the printing press that was the U.S. military, just like throwing money everywhere over there. And the Kabul was like 4 million plus people when the American military evacuated the space. And now it's, I mean, who knows what the numbers are now, but I mean there's a lot of people that are getting murdered right now over there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and he when he was a Marine, he went to Haiti. Yeah, that's where they deployed him for a little bit.
So he
I
could
don't
help.
know.
So he could help traffic the children out of Haiti, basically.
Yeah, he said there was a lot of fucked up shit he saw with his own eyes that they were doing to Haiti, the children and the people there. And that's when he realized. He says when he went to Haiti, he realized this government Marine thing was not an honorable help people. It was the exact opposite. He kind of lost his shit from that.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, yep.
It's a harsh reality.
Yeah, they oof. But yeah, he's a Marine, so he got more specialty training than an Army guy. You know, their Marines are just they're the more, besides the Navy SEALs and other smaller special. They're the larger specialty force that's supposed to be more tough than the Army. Like,
well, they're
they
attached.
go.
I mean, they're attached to the Army, but they're basically seafaring. They're the ones that really they travel on water a lot more. To get
they're like
to
land.
places.
They're like everything. Yeah, they're like everything.
So
land, sea, and air. That's what you said. Marines do it all.
Yeah, the Marines do it all.
Yeah, they're just, and their boot camp is harsher. Like I said, they're more trained for combat, like more specialized. You know what I mean? They're a little stricter with who they let in than the Army, because it's like, well, if they send the Marines out, it's a more specialized.
It's a more devastating force.
Yeah,
force.
We need better combat. Yeah, whatever.
Dude, can you send me the link for the that Philadelphia whatever like police thing that you were telling me about? I want to read some of those comments.
Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to, because it's on my next door. Like, you gotta have you gotta be do you have a next door account?
What is that?
Let me just see. Tell me if this comes up. It's like some bullshit for the neighborhood. You have to usually tell me if you can just read that without logging in or making an account.
Let's see. Oh, I can read it.
Okay.
So, let's see here. Let's see what these slaves
70
have to
DUI
say.
arrests within 48. Yeah, read those comments, dude. Holy shit.
All is clear. The unknown audible device was 3 discarded smoke wait, what?
Yeah, see the Operation Nighthawk?
Pennsylvania State Police Troop K announces upcoming Labor Day holiday enforcement. Amazing to see our community coming together. Wait, so do I just click on this thing? I don't understand. Okay.
Just click.
31 thanks and 7 replies. Is that what I'm looking at here for comments? Oh,
No.
to see the comments, I have to be logged in.
Yeah, that sucks.
Damn.
It's just thank you for your hard work. I'm reading them now. Thank you, good job. Now, if only the courts will do their job and convict the guilty. I lost a sister to a drunk driver. These 5 to 6 time arrested DUI drivers and not getting convicted is getting old. So people are bitching that they're not like getting convicted. It's like, yeah, because it's a money making scam, you fucking idiot. It's not to keep you safe, you dumb fuck. You know?
That's just incredible, man. The people are still so dumb, dude.
If someone was driving drunk or whatever, and they fucking crashed their car and fucked something up, if they really gave a fuck, they'd be like, "Yeah, dude, you're done here." Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna do something about you now.
The punishments, if it was really about, you know, not, I don't want to say punishment, but if it was really about creating, what's the word I'm looking for here, where, you know, somebody does something wrong and then they have to pay for it. I mean, regardless, if it was about holding people accountable, if it was really about accountability and responsibility,
they wouldn't have 6 convicted DUI charges.
No, because it wouldn't be about DUIs. It would be about what property they damaged and who they harmed. Like, people keep bringing up, like, well, they're all fucked up on drugs or whatever, and then they crash their car. I'm like, yeah, they crashed their car. So what happened as a result of them crashing the car? Because I'm telling, like, and this is the truth. For every one person who gets busted for a DUI or being high or whatever, there's thousands, tens of thousands of other people that are high as fuck, that are drunk as fuck, that get home just fine, that don't crash the car.
Yep.
That would be over the legal limit. Again, anything can be made legal or illegal. And pretty soon, pedophilia is going to be legal.
Yeah.
Just like murdering babies in the womb is legal.
It should just be, you know, it should just be like you said, is this person endangering others as he drive? If he's not, then you know,
we're not going to call crossing the center line as endangering the fucking public.
Well, if you cross the center line when there's traffic, tons of traffic, literally.
Yeah, absolutely. But if the road is fucking empty and you cross the center line, what's the problem?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it might make sense to look into it more. Like, all right, like see if he keeps driving all right, and he keeps doing it over and over again. And it's like, okay, this guy can't. But at that point, drive right
at that point, like that person is more than just crossing the center line a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you're fucking tired, right? Like, do you deserve to be punished for that? Man, I'm just trying to get home. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, well, I understand if it was like, it should just be like, hey, you know, if this person's not driving and they look like they're endangering someone, it's like, I mean, like, you got to stop driving while someone investigates your mental health. Like, dude, are you tired? Are you drunk? Don't drive right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, let's say somebody is like incapacitated, like they drank too much and they're all fucked up. Well, I mean, you have 2 choices here. Well, we can take you home and we can just leave your car here and you can come get it tomorrow. You know, or if you promise, right, and then you could put it on paper, like you promise that you're going to stay here and you're going to sleep in your car. You know, we'll let you pull it off the road. Yeah. You stay here, sleep in your car, and when you wake up and you know you're not fucked up anymore, then you can go home. That's what that is the farthest that shit should go. Like,
that's how it used to be back in the day, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Now all of a sudden, people are just so cool with this police state, fucking ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's disgusting.
They're totally fine with it. Like, you know how bad a DUI fucks your life up? Like, and how much money it costs people, you know?
Yeah, it's terrible. I've had an OWI. That's terrible.
And like you said, and the ironic thing is, you could kill someone driving because you weren't paying attention and nothing happens to you. Just because you weren't high or drunk. You could be tired as fuck. Whatever the reason is, you could slam into a child and you know, if you weren't high or drunk or like speeding excessively, then you're just going to be an accident. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's just like, wow, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Yeah. Or whatever, you could damage like crazy property, drive right into a fucking house. Like, oh, I just get off the road, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I you know, if we're gonna have an actual prosperous, peaceful society, we need to get away from this. Well, you could have done something. Like, get the fuck out of here.
That's
like
Minority Report type shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
They've been pushing this for
It's
long.
the precursor
Crime
to all that.
prevention is just unfucking believable.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Like,
I'm of the opinion that a police officer should not be prowling the fucking streets, right? They're there to document an event, and then if it's shown for sure based on the evidence,
a neutral party. That's all they were.
Yes, that's what they should be. It's just a neutral party documenting things and collecting facts and information and evidence, and then when enough of that is gathered to make a decision, like based on the hard evidence of like who committed this act of destruction of property or injuring and harming somebody. That's when you dispatch, like, okay, now we need to go find this person and hold them accountable. But it's not so much the state holding them accountable; it's the person who was injured. Like, this person did this, and this is a crime.
Yep.
So now, okay, well, we're gonna assist you in finding them and holding them accountable for what they've done. But you're gonna be the one that needs to press the charges. You're gonna be the one that's gonna be running the fucking the offense in terms of prosecution. It's not going to be. It's not going to be the state
for everything.
It's not going to be the state
for everything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's not exactly. You're the state prosecuting people again, doing this fucking bull. No.
Yeah.
No.
State crime is bullshit in my view.
Yeah.
Unless somebody is dead. When somebody is dead, then you need to have a neutral party represent them and the harm that was caused to them.
That's it.
And that's it. So like,
someone can't, or someone's too retarded or mentally not stable to represent themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even then, families should be playing a strong role in what happens with the prosecution of said crimes.
Yeah.
In my view, I mean, if we're gonna go back to a stable, prosperous society where people don't have to live in fear of the state.
Yeah, a huge one was, like you said, you can't even drive your car to work without being terrorized and in fear of the state as you drive to work. I mean, that's just unfucking believable. You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous. And then on top of that, it's even more ridiculous that I have to jump and put on a fucking show and imitate like what it's like when there's a predator on the side of the road that's trying to jump on you and then take your possibly your life. You know, and even then they're barely able to admit that I don't like the way it feels when I see those cherries and berries pop on behind me, and then I try to get out of the way because they're obviously supposed to be going to an emergency and they just pull up behind me.
Yeah.
And then they get out of their car and then I know, like, fuck, this is gonna probably cost me money.
Yep, it's gonna cost me money. It's gonna cost me 30 minutes of me sitting on the side of the fucking road, even if it doesn't.
Or more.
Oh, or more. You're right. Or more.
And they're armed, and they're armed to the teeth.
And they have backup.
And they have backup. They can call right away.
Right away. And they usually a second car does show up now.
Yeah.
Often.
It's more often.
It's rare that they even. Yeah, it's rare that they're even alone the whole time.
Yep.
It's just unfucking believable.
If they anticipate that they might be making an arrest, you definitely will see. When you see another car show up, you know that they're looking at you as
that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Because the times that they didn't show up, it was like total like stupid bullshit. They like the times that a second car never showed up, it was totally like
your speeding ticket, seatbelt ticket, fucking.
Yeah, well, the one time either the cop lied, which is their job. So the cop could have lied and said someone called on me, but I like drove through an intersection in my Miata, like going sideways. So I guess that triggered someone and they called the cops. But it was kind of like I literally drove through the intersection sideways. And that road that I took a left on to go after I drove sideways, going straight up that road, not even 2 minutes up the road, that same road, a cop pulled out and pulled me over. Wow. Or got up behind me and pulled me over. Yeah. So it was like, seems a little bit too fast. Like, how would that have happened? Like, they called the cops and all of a sudden you saw me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know if I don't know. I have no idea. Either way, he didn't give me. He just. My inspection was was out, and he just gave me a one of those stupid fucking like fix-it tickets to get it inspected. But since he didn't see how I was driving, or said he didn't, then he couldn't do anything about how I was driving. You know what I mean?
Just
But
crazy.
but yeah, I'm saying my point is for that they didn't have a second car come out.
Yeah.
Right. And like another time I was speeding, got a ticket, no second car. But you're right. I was just thinking like the one time I was with my buddy when I first got my Honda Prelude and it was, learning manual, I rolled a stop sign literally because I didn't want to stall the car, like because I didn't know how to drive manual well. So I kind of rolled it and a cop pulled me over, and I was not used to getting pulled over at the time because I had only been pulled over like twice. And it was kind of in a shitty part to pull over. Like I didn't want to endanger myself or him. So I kept driving a little bit to pull off into a parking lot. And that really triggered the cop. And he was like, why didn't you pull over right away? I was like, because I wanted to be safer and pull in this parking lot. Because they're assuming that like I'm hiding drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You're guilty until you're proven innocent. Yeah.
So we pulled into the parking lot. And then he's like, why? He was getting all fucking pissy with me about pulling off. I also said we were on a fucking hill, and I didn't want to pull off on a hill because I'm learning stick. Because I might stall my fucking car, dude. I'm literally. He's like, where you going?
This is a perfect example of why signs are just guides. It's not a hard line in the fucking sand. If there's no traffic and you roll through a stop sign, what's the fucking problem?
It was like 10 at night. It was 10 at night.
Yeah, what's the problem? What's the problem?
I rolled it.
Yeah, what's the
problem?
problem?
And I rolled it for a good fucking reason. I was like, dude, you can see my car stick. I'm not bullshitting you. I can hardly drive it right now, bro. I suck at driving stick. You fucking retard.
Well,
so it's like, also, yeah, I was gonna have to pull over on a fucking steep hill, and I was like, dude, I'm the reason I rolled it. I told him, is because I fucking driving stick, and the reason I didn't that was the reason I didn't stop pull over because I didn't want to fucking stall my car trying to pull up on this hill. But he thought, I was just stashing drugs. I was with my buddy, was in the car too. So he's like, can we search your car? And I'm like, fine.
Wow.
I was 19. I was like, go ahead. Like, there's nothing in it. Like, it was brand new, so it was.
Yeah.
So I let him waste. So, but then they called backup though.
Of course.
Like he had a second car come out.
They might make an arrest.
Yeah,
absolutely.
To potentially make an arrest, and when there was nothing in the car, he just let me go. With there's like, oh, just pull over sooner.
Wow. Did you even get a ticket for rolling the stop sign?
No.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. That just demonstrates that you weren't committing any kind of a crime, and all this traffic shit is not criminal. It's all civil, which is why they can get away with it so fucking easy without having any evidence.
There's no victim.
No, there's no victim.
If I use my car as a weapon and I go and hurt someone, then it's criminal. If I use my car and damage property, then it's criminal.
Yep.
If I use my car to terrorize someone and try to run them off the road, it's criminal.
Yeah.
If I go 100 miles an hour down a residential road, okay, that's criminal. That's completely.
Is it though?
Well, if it's during
you're
the
honestly,
day...
bro, you're slipping on banana peels, man. I'm telling you right now. Once you start saying that when there's no victim, that all of a sudden you're committing a fucking crime, that is when we enter into tyranny.
My point is, if you're going 100 and it's during the day and there's people out and cars driving, and you're going so fast that you can't even barely handle your car. It's wrecked. It's
well,
complete.
Do you realize?
You know what I mean?
Do you realize all the qualifications you just gave that? I mean, you're talking about extenuating circumstances, and that's when a peace officer shows up. You don't get arrested. You don't get a bunch of fucking tickets.
No,
they're like, hey,
I'm not saying.
Hey, fucking slow down, man.
No, I'm not saying.
You know?
I'm not saying you should. Well, I guess I'm not saying you should automatically be arrested for that.
Don't call it a crime.
It should be.
Don't call it a crime.
Okay. Well, did I call?
Going
really
100 miles an hour in a residential street is not a good idea. I will admit that. But if there is no injured party, there is no damaged property, there is no crime. And I don't. Honestly, with how slippery all this shit gets with the state.
Yeah, you're right. It's a slippery slope.
You start making exceptions to the standard, the hard standard we have to hold in order to stop them from becoming a tyrannical force against us.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be willing to accept some possible dangers. Just like that.
No, you're right. No, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I agree. There should be no. If someone does go 100 down a residential area, it should be okay for the people living there to be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing in my area, bro? Driving that fast?
Yeah, that's called.
But
That's
it shouldn't be allowed that the state could fucking, you know what I mean?
wreck your life, man.
Wreck your life. Exactly. It's like that. What if the guy's driving? He's a Formula One driver and he's driving a fucking Lamborghini. It's a little bit different than fucking someone driving their truck at 100. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
there's so many.
At the end of the day, like we're getting into minutia about circumstances, and and I really, in my view, we just need to have communities with standards, rather than these communities of disparaging beliefs and that are held together, that are sewn together very shoddily by a system called law enforcement.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
You know, common sense is something that's shared amongst the people. It's not something that's forced on you by the state.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if someone was using your neighborhood as a racetrack,
and honestly,
then it's pretty common sense to be like, all right, this is not a good idea.
And honestly, you know, if you're doing that, and you know, people don't know you in the neighborhood at all, obviously that might be a concern where you'd call in a peace officer to go find this guy and be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing, man? You realize that you could have hurt somebody? Don't do it again.
Yeah.
But if you're in a neighborhood that people know you, I mean, like, social pressure is a lot more effective than, you know, some badged guy with a gun who's acting like a fucking tyrant. Because if it's your neighbors calling you out on your bullshit, that, you know, that holds a lot more weight than
neighbors talk to each other.
Exactly.
We don't even have people could live next to each other for 10 years and never say a word. So it's just, so obviously it's easy to, and people wonder why, why do you think you get shit like this? Because no one cares. Like, no one gives a fuck. Like, no one talks to you. So it's like, why? That's why you get some guy fucking drifting around or revving his engine. Like, no one cares. Like, no one, there's no community.
I think, what we get more of, see, that shit would happen regardless, right? Because people are going to do stupid things.
Do stupid shit. Yep.
But that doesn't mean that you put everybody under this threat of law enforcement. Because some people do stupid shit. But no, my point is that, you know, without real community standards, that this is just a path to tyranny, and that's where we're at now, like you described. Like we're just in a tyranny now, and the majority of people are so conditioned to thinking it's normal that you don't talk to your neighbor who's been your neighbor for 10 fucking years, and you guys don't ever break bread or, you know, associate with one another because it's called community defense. You know, if my house is burning down, I would hope that you would.
My neighbor could come and help, or
would personally find yourself compelled to fucking help me because
he lives right fucking there. He is your first line of defense, like you said.
Exactly.
If someone is breaking into my house, if your neighbor likes you and has a gun, he is your first line of defense.
Absolutely, it's not the fucking police. It's not the state.
And they don't give a fuck. And again,
the state with its arbitrary rules will come in and let's say you were growing some plants in your basement that were illegal, and they find that evidence. Well, guess what? Now what's going to happen to you?
You're going to get locked up.
Exactly.
Yep. Because they're going to come in and try to look for all their little arbitrary tyrant fucking laws that they can or fine you for. So
absolutely,
the last people you want to call is the fucking police.
No, you don't want to call them motherfuckers. Because they don't care, and they're not compelled under any statutes, codes, or regulations to actually render aid to you.
Right.
Because they'll say officer safety. Oh, we're not going to go into that burning building because of officer safety.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you can't even tint your car windows.
I'm not giving you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation because of COVID, officer safety.
Yep, but that was going on before COVID. Yeah, they would.
But you know what my point is though. Like
exactly.
You know, they're not there to sacrifice themselves for the benefit of the community, which makes them automatically makes them tyrants.
Yeah,
because they wield extrajudicial authority over you. That if you did the same shit, you'd be considered a criminal.
Yeah. Yeah. They why are these people even considered anything? They don't even. You said they don't have to do anything.
They are the true definition of useless idiots. Useless eaters.
Useless eaters.
Consuming your resources.
Oh, a lot of them too. A lot of them. A lot of your resources.
Yeah.
Look at all those DUI and all those. Oh, it wasn't just DUI, dude. If you looked on the post, they were like, they cited people. I don't know, like 50
Everything.
or 4. I don't.
It's just an excuse to pull people over excessively for any little fucking thing.
Yeah, they gave people tickets for seatbelt violations on that thing. He said.
Yep, of course.
Seatbelt violations, suspended license. It wasn't just DUI. It was a bunch of shit.
Yep.
Because he and people were like, "Oh, thank you. That person didn't wear their seatbelt. Thank you." I mean, like, you know, like that's how like these people are like a person didn't wear their fucking seatbelt and they're having to pay money. Like, are you fucking serious, dude? You know, the day that people were okay with fucking seatbelt laws was just like, dude, you're done. Yeah. Like, and you wonder why this fucking mass shit prevails. Like, you were okay how many years ago with them ticketing people for fucking not wearing a seatbelt, bro? You know, while there's a guy next to them in a fucking motorcycle. But you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Isn't that like these people are fucking? You know, it's like it drives you crazy. It's like, dude, you can drive a motorcycle. Where's the seatbelt there? You can fly the fuck off your motorcycle instantly. But you didn't wear a seatbelt in a car and you get a ticket? Like, how fucking stupid are you this is fucking money and tyranny.
It shows
you stupid fuck.
It shows you that you actually, well, first of all, the cops are doing business with you because it's a civil matter. And so when they find out that you have signed an agreement with the Department of Transportation to be a driver that is licensed from the state, you have to adhere to all those statutes, codes, and regulations that they enforce. Like, you remember that quote I was reading you?
Yeah, bro, they're going to enforce it regardless if you sign the contract.
Yeah, but that's because when under the power of presumption, right, and compliance, when you don't actually contest what they're trying to impose on you contractually, right? Even if it's oral, like you have oral contracts. And the state has so much more power to enforce an oral contract. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, whether it's civil law or criminal law. So, yeah, so like that's why I'm going to start taking this approch of doing business with the police officers.
That's why you don't talk to the tyrants when they
when you do, you establish that you're running this deal, that you're setting the terms. So yeah, the first 10 minutes are free of my time, and after those first 10 minutes, they give you some time to deliberate, you know, what you want to do in terms of this arrangement, this business deal we're making. After that, it's $1,000 a minute, and I will collect because I have your business card here, and it says this is who you are, Matt, you know, fucking tyrant, you know, Matt Tyrant here. Guess what, buddy? You might try and like charge me with something, right? But I'm going to charge you back with something because my time is very valuable.
Yeah. And you're literally forcing me to pull, like, again, like you said, if a normal citizen did this.
This is not a willful business arrangement that I'm going into. So I'm going to have certain terms and conditions that I have to use in order to make sure that my time is compensated for.
Yeah, they're making you pull over on the side of the road. I mean, you could be driving to your mom's funeral, right?
Well, but that you know, honestly, that shit doesn't matter. What matters?
No, it does. What do you mean? If they make you
what I'm
pull
saying
over,
to you,
bro.
What I'm saying to you is you have to consider the absolute facts here. They're using emergency lights, which are supposed to only be used for emergencies. And when you try and get out of their way, they pull up behind you. They're occupying your time.
I'm saying your time. Like, I guess sometimes my point is sometimes you might just be driving to work and you're late to work now. Sometimes you might just be driving to the store and it's no deal. But sometimes when you're driving, you need to be somewhere and it's an emergency for you.
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying? Like like you said, I said your mom's funeral. Maybe someone's dying in the fucking someone's literally dying. You might not have 30 minutes to waste to not. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why.
So you don't know when you make that person pull over. You don't know where they're going or what they're doing.
Well, and it's none of their business anyways.
It's none of their business. I shouldn't have to tell you where the
even if I'm going 25 over the posted speed, the recommended. I call it recommended. It's not a speed limit. It's a recommended speed. Even if I'm going 25 over the recommended speed, you're not me. You're not running my life. You're not running my business. You're not my master. I don't answer to you. So look,
No.
if you want to do business, we can do business, but it's going to cost you. So you got 10 minutes to figure this out if you want to continue doing business with me. But after 10 minutes, because I don't want to do business with you, it's going to cost you $1,000 a minute, and I will collect.
Yep. Yep.
You see the notice posted on the back of the window? I know you read that as you were coming up. I know you saw it. And if you didn't read the terms and conditions of that notice, then that's on you. Ignorance of contractual law is no excuse. You want to do business? You want to enter into an agreement right here? That's fine. It's going to cost you.
Yep.
And by the way, my name's Tom. Here's my business card. Let me have your business card. So I know who I'm doing business with. Oh, you don't want to give me your business card? Go ahead, get your supervisor out here. So I can do business with him.
Yep.
So that's how, most people don't understand this. And my experience recently in the courtroom has shown me this, that it's not the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all that shit. None of that shit fucking matters.
No.
None of that shit matters. Because it doesn't apply. It's a civil matter. It's contractual law.
Oh, it's not criminal law. Another thing that this neighbor kind of made me shake my head like, you pussy. Like a year back, his neighbor was getting vandalized. I might have told you about that. So the cops were like, because he was the direct neighbor.
Yeah.
The cops were like, knocking on their door to like try to talk to him about it, So I guess he got pussy scared when that happened. So he told me he put up. I never noticed it because I don't use his front door because like no one really uses his front door at his house because you just go through like the garage or side door because like it's really, the cars are parked by the garage, so you don't go through the front. You have to walk up. Yeah. Anyway. So I didn't see the sticker because I don't ever use the front door. So he says on the front door where the cops go to knock, there was like one of those like thin blue line stickers or something police support sticker. I'm like, he put that on there. I was like, dude, I just showed my head like, you're such a pussy, dude.
That's like putting a BLM sign on your window saying, I support the BLM as they're fucking burning down your house and stealing all your shit.
Yep. I think he said he also put something on his truck. Like a blue, I never looked at his truck, but I think he said he also put a blue line sticker, police sticker on his truck, too, for the same reason if they pulled him over. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Like
that makes
that to me is like,
that's an easy meal for them because they know you're not going to give them any resistance.
Yeah, actually, you're a good point. It's like you put that sticker on your front door on your car. It's like they know they can do whatever the fuck they want to because basically telling them I'm a pussy. Yeah. I'll suck your cock.
Yeah.
Which is exactly his response when he saw those Australian thug criminals, cops, doing their shit. He was scared. He was terrified. Oh, it doesn't happen here, Oh, and I was like, I guess we're gonna have to do something about it then, Mr. Marine.
No,
right?
Don't.
I guess you're gonna have to fight for your freedom then, Mr. Marine. Is that what you signed up to be a Marine for? To fight for freedom? Pussy? Or you just signed up for the benefits and to act like you were some tough guy Marine? Oh, that's why you went.
Oh my goodness. So
that's why they all do it.
So
Sorry, I'm pissed, dude.
I'm live streaming this conversation because I knew it was going to be good.
Okay.
Gloria Miller said there is not sufficient evidence to support any conclusion on the comparative safety of mRNA vaxes. Direct evidence on the comparative safety of mRNA vaxes is lacking. She quotes some Russian-sounding, Eastern European-sounding doctor.
Who's that?
So, well, Gloria is just somebody who commented and then jumped off the live stream. Somebody really just spamming in the comment section.
Okay. I wish you had told me we were live streaming because I don't know what I said.
No, you said everything you said was fine. I was listening. It's all good. It's all good, man.
And I don't. Yeah, I didn't know, man, because I might have censored myself a little bit more.
No, we don't want that. We don't want that. It's fine.
I know, but what did we talk about earlier?
Just talked about the police.
Oh, okay. When did you start live streaming?
Oh, I was live streaming from the beginning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but as I was saying, I might have said something personal that I didn't want to go on the internet.
No, what personal? There's no personally identifying information.
Yeah, but I might have. I don't know if I slipped up and said something that was personal or.
No, you didn't. Trust me.
That's what I'm saying. But you didn't tell me, so I may have done that by accident. Oh, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you didn't though.
Like there are things I don't want on the internet.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, nobody even knows who you are. I haven't even said your name.
It doesn't matter. I still don't. It doesn't.
Gotcha.
Even in anonymity, I don't want things out. With my voice. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, come on, man. You're becoming you're like the tyrant too, man. Just putting people online they don't even know. Come on, dude. I didn't even know we were online for because I thought this was a private conversation. That's my point. I thought this was a private. This was not. Now this is a public conversation, and you didn't tell me.
Well, I could take it down. You want me to take it down?
I don't know. Can you just restart the stream?
Sure.
Can you private it?
Well, yeah,
so
of course. That's why I said take it down. Yeah, I'll private it.
You don't have to delete it.
Yeah. I'll just make it private. I'll send you the link.
What I said.
I'll send you the link, and if you think there's something on there that's revealing your identity because it's so protected,
or just something. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to hear back what I said. Because it was 40 minutes of combo, and I don't know.
No, listen. I'm telling you right now. When you listen to it, you'd be like, yeah, this is what I would have said anyways. So.
No, you would have said, but not when I.
No. What you would have said, because I know how you are when we have these conversations on the live stream and not on the live stream, and there's nothing personally identifying that you said that would link it right back to you.
Can you
but
that's
fine.
I'll look back at it.
You got it. Yep, not a problem. No, it's okay. It's okay. I should have told you.
You should have told me, dude. Because I don't really censor I don't really censor myself. I'm pretty fucking open.
I know.
It's just there are still some things that, like you said, more or just something I don't know. You're probably right. I probably didn't say anything, but I still just want to hear to make sure because I don't know if
I got you. I didn't know about that Marine neighbor you had though. That's interesting.
Are you still streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, can you cut the? Did you start a new stream or?
Well, I mean, no. Nobody can go back until I actually kill the live stream and the archive is up on the.
Wait, I'm sorry. What do you mean?
I said nobody can go back and listen to anything until I end the live stream. Do you understand?
No, you could still go back and listen.
Well,
you can click back while it's live streaming to listen to what you said previously.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone's gonna do it, but yeah, you can.
Okay.
I do it all the time.
Okay. That's
so while it's going right now, anything we said earlier is you can listen to. You can just go back and listen. Yeah, I do it all the time.
I mean, that's it. I guess if you were already on it while it was if you were listening to it and you wanted to go back and listen to something that was already said, but I've never been able to jump into a live stream because there's nobody listening right now. It's just you and me. It's like a private conversation.
Yeah. That's true.
So if somebody jumps in right now, they can't go back and listen to anything.
Yeah, they can. I'm gonna jump in right now.
Okay.
I just went back.
You did?
Yeah, he said there was a lot of fucked up shit he saw with his own eyes that they were doing.
Wow.
I'm listening to old protocol. Yeah, you can just jump right back. Yep.
All right. Well, let me end it now then.
All right. Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.